Hey, I always just imagine that when you click on this video, like these curtains open up and there it is, just me, this like average ass dude, just ready to have a little chat about filmmaking. Little PSA, if you stick around to the end of film, I'm gonna give a quick little update about the feature film that I'm gonna be creating this year. So yeah, if you care about that, brief chat at the end. Every single video that I post on YouTube, somewhere in the comments, someone is asking me the question, what filtration am I putting on my lens? By filtration, I mean like any piece of glass that I'm screwing on to the front of my camera to give it some sort of functional or creative effect. And it's a really great question. It's something that can really change the look of your video completely, judging by what type of filter you're using. And there's so many different kinds. There's neutral density filters, UV filters, diffusion filters, polarizing filters, all sorts of things. So there's two filters that I use on my lens for every video. One's functional, one's creative. Functional meaning that it's not like a creative choice that I'm making. It's just something that I need on my camera to make the video look a certain way, expose a certain way. That's gonna be my neutral density filter. And if you don't know what a neutral density filter is, that's like week one stuff. So maybe this video is a little too advanced and you gotta go and read up on that real quick, then come back. My Sony FX3 obviously doesn't have built-in ND filters. So what I do is I screw on a Polar Pro Peter McKinnon, I think it's the version 2 variable ND filter, and that's the 2 to 5 stop one. I've used this for a couple years. It's durable. It doesn't give you funky colors. Works great. 2 to 5 stops is all I typically need. If I need any more, I'll just bump up the f-stop a touch. So then I also use a filter for a creative effect, which is probably the filter that you're most interested in me talking about right now. So my Sony FX3 paired with the Sony 24-70, which is kind of a combination that I use all the time for YouTube videos. I find that the image that comes out of that is just like a little too sharp for my personal taste. All of creative filtration decisions is based on, personal preference and taste. And, if you like super sharp images, you're probably pretty lame and you don't have to add filtration, just kidding. But no, I just like a softer, more filmic tone in my videos, and I get that by using diffusion filters. So the one that I use and the one that I've been using for probably like 4 years now, that I keep coming back to every time, has always been this guy. This is the Tiffen Black Pro Mist 1/8 strength. I always felt like the Tiffen Black Pro Mist made skin tones look really smooth and creamy without them looking and becoming glowy. It always gives you like a nice blend between the highlights and shadows, nice halation over the lights. I have a 1/8 Black Pro Mist on right now, and you can see like the little halation that it's giving the light back here. And I will say that I try not to go past 1/8. I've experimented with the Black Pro Mist 1/4 and the 1/2. And I feel like even just going up one step, the image kind of becomes like a very certain look and it kind of becomes overdone for my personal preference. I just want it a little softer, a little more halation in the highlights. I don't want it to end up having that like 70s soap opera look that the higher strength filters would give you. And I know there's a time and place for those, obviously. Depends on the creative, but for most of what I'm shooting, I'm using the 1/8. If you follow my footsteps and you do want the Pro Mist, make sure you're getting Black Pro Mist and not the regular Pro Mist, because the Black Pro Mist tends to keep the shadows all together, while the regular Pro Mist kind of like, I guess, fogs up the shadows, which is kind of what I don't like as much as about like other brands' variations of the Black Pro Mist. So I'll answer this question now because I know a bunch of people are gonna ask in the comments. I do stack my filters on top of my lens. I'll put my Black Pro Mist on first, followed by my variable ND filter, and it works great. Been doing it for a while. Don't get any ugly vignetting or anything. Now, if you stuck around to the end for the feature film update, bring it in. A little virtual dap up right there, because I'm so freaking pumped about this feature film. It is by far like the biggest creative project that I've ever taken on, and it's probably the most excited I've ever been. But the update, simple. Things are coming together. I've gotten a bunch of producers on board. I got a director of photography on board, starting to cast this thing out, starting to find locations, have a time that we're gonna be shooting. Hopefully it's going to be about 20, 22 days in the month of July. So yeah, we're in a good place. Next step right now, I guess, is funding, which is something that I'll probably be pinging you about in the near future, probably the first week of March. So stay tuned with that if you're open to helping out, kind of relying on you. Promise the producers that I'd like an awesome audience that would definitely like help me fund this. And I'll have like cool little like premiere tickets or something. Shh, don't tell anyone yet. I don't have it finalized, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we could figure out something cool to get everyone here involved. Yeah, at the end of each video, I'm gonna try and do like a little update on the movie because A, it is the most important thing in my professional world right now, and I wanna share that with you. So yeah, shooting a music video in the next couple days, which I'll share the BTS in the actual video with you in the coming weeks as well. And yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me today. It's always special. I love you. Bye. Smiling face, not to smile myself, 'cause I love you.